Good morning, everyone. This is Ryan Collins here with another exciting video for you. Today we're going to talk a little bit about grabbing data from post requests in HTTP, and as we start to build your foundational skills in order to build a robust application in Perfect, this is going to come in really handy. Again, you can connect with me or find my social profiles at ryanmcollins.com. You can find more information about the Perfect project at perfect.org. So let's get started here. I'm just going to make a project folder on my desktop. We'll call this one Perfect Post. And we'll call this Perfect Post Handling. That sounds like a good project name. We'll pull up Xcode. I'm just going to Command Control N. You can also go up to File New Workspace. We're going to call it Perfect Post Handler. I am going to save it on my desktop. And we'll call it Handling. Let's keep the project the same. Alright. Next step in our process is always to go over to Perfect, come into the releases and grab that 1.0. Okay. So I'm going to come over here. Just going to hide this for a second. Okay. That's going to be in my downloads folder. Alright, so I have Perfect.1.0 on my desktop, just like we normally do. I'm going to bring this up and over. Make sure we're nice and centered so you can see everything that's going on. I'm using Command Option A. You can also go to File, Add Files to Perfect Handling. Of course, we're going to go back to the desktop. We're going to grab Perfect 1. We need the library. We need the server. I'm going to hold Command and select both of the projects. Make sure that I'm not copying and I'm creating the folder references that I need. We have our dependencies, so now let's get our own project. I hit Command Shift N for New Project. I'm going to go to OSX Framework and Library, Cocoa Framework, and we'll call this Perfect Post Handling. Okay. Swift, include unit tests is fine. We're going to add that to our Perfect Post Handling project. I'm not going, I'll create a Git repository for us in case anybody wants to pull the source code from me later. Alright, so we're going to link our library. There's our OSX target. Under our build settings, we're going to do the same as normal. Make sure all is selected. We need yes to deployment location, configuration, build, dir, and if you did that correctly and spelled that correctly, you should see it pop up with build, debug, and build release. We're going to change library frameworks to Perfect Libraries. Okay, and we are not going to skip the install. I'm going to switch over to our Perfect Post Handling scheme. I'm going to edit that scheme. We are going to run the Perfect Server HTTP app. Super. So we've got our project set up. Let's jump right in. Add a new file. We're going to go to OSX source Swift. Okay. And I'm just going to call this Perfect Handlers. Okay. I like to move it to the top of the project since we're working with one. I'm not really going to worry about cleaning up the file structure and adding more groups. So we're going to import Perfect Lib. Okay. Public func, just like we always do. Perfect server module init. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and add routing dot handler dot register globally. Okay, to let the Perfect server module know that we want to handle custom routes. Routing dot routes. All right. Now this is going to be very familiar. Get do an array of things we'd like to get, which is going to be / and index HTML. We're going to set that equal to our closure. Alright, and that closure is going to be underscore web response in return index handler. Okay. So we're going to set that up just like we did last time. Okay. And then of course we need our index handler class. And that is going to be a request handler. So it needs to inherit from request handler. And if it's inheriting from request handler, we are obligated to implement handle request, which takes a request, which is a web request, and it takes a response, which is a web response, okay? And inside that function then, we can response.append body string, alright, and we'll just say hello perfect for proof of concept, and then response.request completed callback, which is a function. Alright, so I'm going to build this and make sure it works, because we don't want to get too far without testing and debugging. So that should launch soon. I'm just going to get the web browser up. Looks like all of that looked good to the compiler. So let's go ahead and see what's going on. Okay, there's our hello perfect. So our application is working. So now let's talk about adding a route to basically work with data that's been posted. So this is something new, this is something fun. So back to our application here, and now that we're built, you can see that the all the errors went away and everything highlighted. So we might even get some autocomplete in here. So now, routing.routes, right, is how we register a route handler, okay? So we're gonna do a post route, okay? And then we're gonna get from posted data, why not, okay? We don't need a second array in there. It'll work just fine without that. That is also going to be equal to a closure. This time it's a little more simple. We just need underscore in return post handler. Okay. And you can name post handler whatever you want to name it. I am going to copy and paste this class so we can keep all of the boilercode we've already written. Okay. We're going to call this post handler. It inherits from request handler just the same. Alright, we still need our completed callback at the end, but in this case we can actually work with data. So let's do something real simple. So response.append body string, alright, you posted to path, okay, request dot, and this will, and request, we're looking for request URI. So that's going to grab the request URI out of the system and print that to the screen. And you posted, okay. And then we're going to grab response.params. Should be response.params. Whoops. Params. Okay, it looks like that's giving me an error. Value of, that's right, because it's not the response, it is the request. Okay, we're gonna grab the request parameters. Alright, that looks good. Let's see if we can get this working. Alright, so when you're working with URLs, of course, one of the very basic things that you can do in there, let's just make sure we're running, we are, is send parameters with the URL and use them in your application. So while we're running here, I'm just going to open PAW, and PAW is just a client that helps us make get and post requests and test APIs and things. It's very similar to Postman, which I know a lot of people use in Google Chrome. I'm not as big of a fan of Google Chrome for different reasons, so I am going to do this with Paw. But the idea is the same. You can use curl in terminal. You can use just about any client you want to test this. So we're going to do http:// 0,0,0, okay, 8181, right? And then if you remember in our application here, and you can always go look up whatever you wrote, we're going to post to posted data, okay, because that's the route that we registered. So we want to go to posted data, and I don't need 2 slashes in there, and we need to give it some parameters. So test equals 1, 2, 3. Why not? And if we hit make that request, it should respond to us with you posted to path, posted data, test 1, 2, 3, and you posted, and look at that. We get an optional array of data that got posted, and that is super cool. So that's one way that we can work with data. Let's take a look at another way. So request has a bunch of fun attributes that we can use. So you can use header, and that is, obviously it returns the indicated HTTP header. Headers is going to return a dictionary containing all HTTP headers. You can look for things like param, which is going to return, I believe it's the first parameter on the URL. Params is going to return all of them like we played with. And then you can look for a parameter named string, and you can do all sorts. So what I want is the post body string right now. So the post body string, and you'll be working with this a lot if you work with APIs, is real simple. So let me go to swapi.co, which is the open source Star Wars API, which is really useful when you want to test working with data. And let's just grab some boilerplate JSON data, okay? All right, so our server's still running. And I want to get Paw back up here. All right, so we're going to post to the same place. Okay, you posted nil, that's fine. And I'm just going to go to the body, and I'm just going to paste this text in here. JSON will pick it up just fine because it's valid JSON. All right, and then we need to go back in here. So we're going to request post body string. I'm going to stop this and rebuild it so that we're working with the new code that I've added. Okay, so there we are. Hello Perfect is running and working. And let's go ahead. And there we go. You posted to path, posted data, and look, we posted a body of JSON, which is going to come in really handy when we start to do things like decode JSON and get that into an array or a dictionary and start to actually work with the data in there. Now, just the same as the last time, if I refresh and you posted nothing, because there was nothing in the body. So this is really powerful stuff. I hope this helps you learn a little bit more about Perfect, how Perfect works, and how we're going to build our foundational skills in Perfect to really get to the stage in these tutorial videos when we're going to build robust applications. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, and the contest is still going on, you can go to the GitHub issues and give me that thumbs up to vote for this video. By the time you see this, this is the last day, so it probably won't be. Enjoy your day, have fun with this, and thank you for watching.